The latest news, national issues, the political scene, and conversations with prominent personalities. All these firsthand at the forefront. Good morning. I am Attorney Karen Jimeno. A number of GCash users have reportedly lost money in their GCash accounts since last week, attributing it to unauthorized transactions that they do not recognize. While many believe that the Money app may have been hacked or breached, GCash issued a statement assuring its users that all their money on the e-wallet are secure. GCash attributed the glitch to errors in an ongoing reconciliation process. So a lot of people are asking, is it still safe to use GCash as an e-wallet? We have on the line a GCash user from Nueva Ecija who apparently lost almost 30,000 pesos last Friday. Good morning, Angge.
Hello po, good morning po.
Angge, saan mo ginagamit yung GCash mo?
May sarili po kaming sari-saring tindahan. Ginagawa po namin siyang cash in, cash out.
At ano yung nangyari noong Biyernes? Paano ka nawala ng pera?
Nung bandang alas 3 po, bigla po may nag-text sa number po na yon na may OTP. Pero wala po kaming pinipindot. Tapos po, start na po no, na nag-send po yung sa Lazada payment po ng 20,000. Tapos sunod-sunod na po yun hanggang sa maubos niya po yung pera. Tapos nung wala na po siya makuhang pera, nag-unlink po siya ng sa sarili niya na wala rin din po kami pinipindot.
Nakalink po ba yung GCash mo sa Lazada?
Wala po kaming Lazada, yun po ang malaking pinagtataka po namin.
At dati po ba meron kayong pinagamit ng phone nyo para ma-hack ito or na meron po bang ibang gumagamit ng telepono nyo?
Wala po, ma'am.
At nag-complain ka na po ba sa GCash?
Yes po, nag-complain po kami first po, napunta kami sa GCash Center po sa Cabanatuan, sa SM Cabanatuan po dito. Then po, sabi po, daw po kami sa Lazada. Tapos nung sabi naman po sa Lazada, magpunta na daw po kami sa cybercrime. Turo-turoan na po.
So,
ang hirap po
hanggang ngayon po, wala pa rin pang nakatulong sa inyo?
Wala pa rin po.
Paano po yung GCash nyo ngayon? Ginagamit nyo pa rin po ba o nakasuspend?
Hindi na po namin nilalagyan po ng pera.
Paano po yung sa tindahan ninyo pag may gustong magbayad ng GCash?
Sinasabi na lang po namin, wag muna silang at nagloloko nga po yung GCash. At saka po yun nga po, pagka po pala naglagay kayo ng pera doon at nagka-problema, hindi po namin alam saan po kami tatakbo. Dahil wala naman din po silang sariling shop na pwede magreklamo. Panay AI tsaka yung sa chat center lang nila na sa online lang po kami nagrereklamo. At ang tagal pa po sumagot.
Nung sinabi niyo po na nag-complain kayo sa GCash, paano po kayo nag-reach out sa kanila? Tumawag po ba kayo or may pinuntahan kayong center?
Inassist po kami. Pinatawag po kami sa customer service nila na ganun daw po, na unlink na. Ang pinagtataka namin, paano kami nag-unlink? Wala kami nilink, wala kaming pinindot, bigla na lang pumasok yung ganung transaction.
At napaliwanag din po ba nila kung paano nabawasan yung GCash ninyo na napunta sa Lazada, ngayon wala naman po kayong Lazada account?
Opo, sabi daw po gano'n, na-claim na daw po, na-delivered na. Tapos yun nga po, pinapaano po kami sa cybercrime. Wala naman po kami. Napakaano lang po namin mamamen. Wala po kami panahon na makaano doon dahil nga po tindahan lang po ang inaasahan namin. Ang hirap naman po magsarado. Sasadyain pa po namin yun maya.
At sa ngayon, magkano po yung total na nawala sa inyo?
29,500 po. Panay po Lazada payment po yun. Wala naman po kami in-order at wala rin po kaming Lazada.
Ano po ang mensahe ninyo sa GCash?
Sana po ma-resolve nila. Tinatanong po namin, kahit po sa Lazada, kung saan po napunta, wala daw po kasi silang maibigay na data hanggat wala po abiso ang cybercrime. hindi daw po sila magbibigay ng any details kung sino po yung umorder sa Lazada na binayaran namin ng ganong kalaking halaga.
Ibig sabihin,
Ang
kahit
message ko
yung
po,
account po, yung identity ng account nung Lazada, hindi nabigay sa inyo?
opo, wala po talaga ma'am. Talagang blanco kami, naku po, ang hirap po ng ganito.
Oo nga, paano yun ay yung sa GCash naman, ang sabi ba nila sa inyo, isusoli nila yung perang nawala?
Wala po. Kontakin daw po namin yung Lazada kasi nasa Lazada na daw po yung pera. Ngayon po, nung kinontak namin yung Lazada, pinapasa na po kami sa cybercrime.
Okay. Sige po, mamaya po may guest kami dito from DICT at itatanong po namin yung concern ninyo.
Sige ma'am, thank you po. Sana po magawa ng solusyon kasi malit na tao lang po kami. Paano po kami babawi ulit? Lahat po nakuha nila.
Sige po, sana po makatulong kaming mahanapan ng solusyon yung problema ninyo. Salamat po,
Thank you po
Angge.
ma'am. Thank you po.
And now from Cebu, we have another GCash user who lost his money just last night, Ross Adrian Ku. Good morning, Ross.
Good morning, ma'am.
Ross, can you share with us, kagabi ka lang nawala ng pera sa GCash?
Yes, ma'am. Around 6 p.m. Nasa trabaho ako kasi hindi ko alam may issue pala yung GCash. Nag-send ako gamit AOB ko sa Ilomani, InstaPay. Transfer ko sana sa GCash. Kaso, nabawasan na yung credits ko sa AOB. Pero sa GCash, wala akong natanggap. 2 beses ako nag-transact pero wala talaga.
So sa inyo po, nagsubok kayong maglagay ng pera doon sa GCash wallet ninyo, pero na-debit doon sa bank account niyo,
Yes.
pero walang
Yes,
pumapasok
ma'am.
sa GCash.
Yes talaga, ma'am. Akala ko nga, ma'am, lang sa system ng GCash. Kaso, trinay ko ulit. At yun, nag-debit na lahat.
At first time po ba itong nangyari sa inyo?
Yes, ma'am. First time lang to, ma'am. Kailangan talaga i-send talaga sa pamilya ko sa akin yung pera. Kaso wala.
Nakausap
Hindi
niyo na po ba ang GCash tungkol dito?
AI generated, ma'am. Ganon din tong issue nung sinabi kanina, ma'am. Na antay daw ng ilang oras pero wala pa rin, ma'am.
Ibig sabihin, wala pa po kayo nakakausap sa GCash. Tuwing nagtatry kayo, ay AI lang na generated na ano?
Ma'am, kahit sa ang number ng GCash, tinawagan ko, din system lang din, hindi yung hindi yung agent
At yung bangko niyo po ba, sinubukan niyo rin na kausapin tungkol dito? Hello, Rox? Okay, we seem to have lost Rox, but we'll try to get him back here. At the forefront, we'll be right back. Welcome back at the forefront. And we have again on the line Ross from Cebu who lost money in his GCash account yesterday. Ross, can you tell us kung ngayon ano na yung status yung pagreklamo mo? Meron ka na bang nakausap?
Ma'am, to be process daw kagabi. Nagtaya ako process, sabi na 24 hours daw, pero nag-email naman sa akin, pero ayun, di naman ako makapag-reply sa email nila kasi sorry daw. Daming yung GCash, tapos antayin ko na lang kung ano yung update, pero hindi ako sigurado kung babalik talaga yung pera, ma'am. Kailangan talaga.
Oo. So kahapon sinasabi mo, di ba, na ikaw yung nag-transact. Yung kanina sinasabi mo na galing sa bank account mo, trinay mong ilipat sa GCash. So,
ma'am.
sabi po ba ng bank ninyo na wala silang pwedeng gawin rin para mabawi yung pera?
Dito ko nakapunta sa AOB, ma'am, kasi wala ako sa city, ma'am. Nasa isla ako, ma'am. Malayo pa, ma'am.
Ross, magkano yung total po na nawala sa inyo?
Yung una, total ko na lahat, ma'am. Sige, ma'am, mga 8,800, ma'am.
At ano po yung gusto ninyong paraan na para makuha ninyo yung pera ninyo?
Sana ma'am, masolusyonan agad-agad ma'am yung pag wala ng pera ko. Kasi pag transact ko ma'am, mabilis lang. Pero pag walang dumating. Gusto ko, maayos natin.
Ano po ang mensahe nyo sa GCash?
Sana ayusin nila yung sistema nila. Akala ko nung nakaraan okay na yun kasi nagka-problema. Dapat sana awareness sila. Kasi nangyari na to, nangyari naman ulit. Tapos sa akin pa nangyari. Yun lang.
Sige po, Ross. Meron po kaming guest dito from DICT at sana po mahanapan namin ng solusyon yung problema ninyo.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ross. And now joining us live at the BNC studio is the Undersecretary for Infrastructure Management, Cybersecurity, and Upskilling of the Department of Information and Communication Technology, Undersecretary Jeffrey Ian D. Good morning, Yusek Ian.
Good morning. Yes.
Yusek, kanina we heard 2 cases right now na nawalan ng pera sa GCash. And it's been very frustrating for them kasi hindi pa nababalik and wala naman daw silang makausap sa GCash. And for one of them, si Angge, pinagpapasapasahan siya, pumunta siya sa GCash and supposedly meron daw nag-debit sa Lazada pero walang tumutulong sa kanya. So, in the first place, is this an incident of hacking or what you call technology breach? Or what's the difference between the two? For the case of Angge, kasi yung kanya, wala siyang transactions na ginawa, wala man lang siyang Lazada account, and yet, naubos yung pera niya sa GCash, all to pay Lazada.
Well, so yesterday we had a meeting with GCash. According to the report, it was an internal reconciliation error, no? When they say internal reconciliation error, I think they are referring to that this case is akin to what happened to BDO and BPI in the past, no? It was a computer system that failed to reconcile accounts. And then, kasi if it is a reconciliation error, it's a simple reporting. Therefore, it should be easy to return. According to them also, within 24 hours daw, naibalik na. Kasama yung very viral case. Very viral ni Pokwang.
Yes.
Yes. Oh. So, these 2 cases, I'm not sure. Because according to the report of GCash nga, lahat daw ng may kinalaman doon sa reconciliation error na ibalik. So, based on that report, it's not a cybersecurity incident, but our investigations are still ongoing. I asked them for technical reports and technical logs so that we can determine with more certainty kung ano ba talaga yung nangyari sa loob ng GCash. I understand that the Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas is also doing their parallel investigation as the regulator of GCash.
So in the case of Angge, that's really concerning because she doesn't have a Lazada account and yet all the debit from her GCash went to payments for Lazada. And then when she tried to claim it back from GCash, they said wala na silang magagawa because payments have been made to Lazada. So that sounds more like a hacking incident, and what would be her remedy?
In the case of Angge, we encourage him na pumunta sa office, and then kasi we'll be having series of meetings pa, no? Yesterday was the first. Makakatulong 'yon sa investigasyon. Importante kasi makita natin yung number na ginamit. And then saang Lazada accounts din pumunta.
But yeah, that's what I find strange. So Angge was saying that she tried to ask for the details of the Lazada account and they refused to provide it to her. So I think like she's just stuck with being told that merong nabayaran na Lazada account, that's why GCash couldn't refund the money, and yet no one would like to disclose to her which account it is. So perhaps, yeah, if they report to the DICT
Yes,
can help them
yes.
trace kung
So,
ano yung mga identities.
Yes, we can. I understand pag pumunta ka sa transactions history, no, ng GCash, ang nakasulat lang yata yung control number.
Yes.
Hindi yung eksaktong Lazada account. But we'll help Angge. You can We assure you of that.
Oo,
That's the
that
least
would be
we can-
great. Kasi yung Ian, ano lang siya, sari-sari store, maliit na tindahan lang. In fact, she's worried kasi sinabihan din siya na mag-report na lang kayo sa cybercrime division. And she said, paano ko gagawin yun? Una, nasa Nueva Ecija siya. And hindi niya maiwanan yung tindahan niya. So,
Nueva Ecija.
Yes. So, meron po ba paraan para makapag-report siya? Meron bang office sa Nueva Ecija ang DICT?
Kung meron kayong siguro not online para hindi natin i-announce yung personal details niya.
Yes.
But you have her phone number. We'll have the regional director of Region 3, Director Tony Padre of the ICT, go to her, and then we'll have a conversation how we can investigate this. And then we'll treat the case of Angge as part of our investigations into GCash, no? Just to make sure that all bases are covered. No?
Yes.
But do please understand that the DICT's National Computer Emergency Response Team investigation is limited only to determining if it is a cybersecurity incident. Kasi yung consumer relations yan, si BSP. Pero lahat naman ng report namin, ipapadala din namin sa BSP. So it's
malaking tulong
we're
po sa
one
kanya
government
yun.
naman.
Yes, and I don't think that she's part of what GCash said na that they refunded because her incident happened on Friday and up to today, which is already Tuesday, she doesn't have the money back. And the other case po that we heard today is Ross from Cebu. And siya naman, he tried to debit his bank account to load his GCash. And he did that twice, pero lahat nung na-transfer from his bank account, walang napunta sa GCash niya. So, and he tried to reach out to GCash, but there's no number that he could contact. And he said lahat ng numbers nila, puro AI lang daw yung sumasagot. So, what can Ross do?
This also happened Friday or
Yeah,
earlier?
just last night.
Just
And
last
he
night.
said,
Okay.
and he's from Cebu.
Okay. So, ganun din. We'll reach out to him. Our regional director will reach out to, what's his name? Ross, no? So, the other one is Angge and the other one is Ross. So, Angge is from Region 3, Ross is from Cebu. Eksakto kasi may regional office sa nasa Cebu mismo. Actually, mas mahirap yung kay Angge kasi nasa Nueva Ecija siya. Ang regional office nasa Pampanga. So, it's a little bit. Pero yung sa Cebu, nandun talaga yung regional office. We'll talk to Ross also. We'll help him. Now, but it's also good to contextualize this issue, no? I think the reconciliation error happened sometime Friday. So if it happened like after Friday, let's say Saturday, or before Friday, it could be something else. I understand that there had been multiple issues already with GCash and same with other e-wallets na related. No? But let's look into this. Like I said, it's important we investigate we look at all bases para yung investigation natin is not only independent but it can get to the bottom of this na paniniwalaan din ng taong bayan.
And I think, Yusek Ian, one thing that we're all curious about is that ano yung maaring possible scenarios? It sounds like meron ding potential hacking. And in that case, who should be liable if it's hacking? Would GCash also refund? For example, just taking the case of Angge, where if someone hacked her GCash account and made payments to Lazada, would GCash be liable? Is there also negligence on their part wherein they're susceptible to hacking?
That one I can't answer yet. If there is an internal actor, then GCash could be liable. Alam niyo naman, Attorney Jimeno, no, that yung mga criminal proceedings, I'm not even sure if it is criminal yet or civil, etc. But for criminal proceedings, most probably the actor, if it is a hacking incident, the actor would be the primary liable person, yung mismong nag-hack. But that's let's investigate. Mahirap kasi magsabi na hack, baka mag-cause siya ng
panic among people.
Among people. And we treat GCash as a critical information infrastructure because of the sheer volume of transactions going through GCash. So yeah.
What about other e-wallets? Paymaya, is a competitor of GCash, but based on the reports, we haven't heard much of
Yes.
people losing money on PayMaya. Is it because they don't have that volume of users, or is it safer?
Well, safer, I'm not sure. But in terms of market share, mas malaki yung market share ng GCash, that's one. Number two, PayMaya kasi focused on business to business. So kung meron din naman mga kaming nare-receive na reports sa PayMaya, but you're right, they're very small and they're usually based on transactions. If you will notice, PayMaya has this terminal which restaurants use. Kasi doon sila nag-focus, their business focuses on that. GCash kasi is so massive and it focuses on retail. Everybody has GCash. And then pinauso nila yung QR code. Magbabayad ka ng parking, QR code, GCash, no? So doon mas maraming mga reports because of their volume. For example, personally, I also experienced some problems with GCash. There was a time, I think that was 3 weeks ago, where I tried to transfer money. Yun nangyari kay Ross. I tried to transfer money from my bank account to GCash, and then I received it 4 days later. No, I did receive the money, but nagkaroon ng konting delays, and I received it 4 days.
Did you report
What is it?
that incident to anyone?
No, I did not. No, I just wait for it. So, ang pinagkaiba siguro, because I'm an IT professional, so I know how to act on this scenario. The first one is to do not try the transaction again. And then number two, to keep all the records of the logs, yung transaction history, nakasulat naman being processed, to keep it at hand, at para hindi mo confuse yung system, just not use it for
Don't do anything
Don't do
for-
anything further.
So,
But you know, for most people, 4 days, you look technically you do not have access. You do not lose money, but you don't have access to your money.
yes, exactly. And
For 4
for
days.
Ross, kanina, just hearing his voice, he sounded very frustrated and actually parang naiiyak na nga yung boses niya
Yes,
because
oo.
that's a lot of money for him.
Yes.
Yung nawala.
At pag hindi mo
Over
magamit ang pera mo,
8,000.
ipangungutang mo kasi, especially for those who are living on a daily basis.
Yeah. So for people who lost money with the incident in GCash, wherein they're saying that this is an issue of reconciliation process. Can you explain that? What does that mean?
Ang unang kong and thanks for that, Atty. Karen, for letting me explain. So, first, when it is a reconciliation issue, it's a report issue. Siguro, just to simplify the discussion, a reconciliation is pag tinignan mo yung bank statement mo, may nakasulat debit, credit. So, a reconciliation issue is, hindi pa nakasulat, nandoon pa na sa computer, hindi pa dumarating sa'yo, and they're trying to mix and match. Ano ba talaga yung transactions mo for the day? So, usually, banks do that on a daily basis. And then they do a report which they also submit to the regulators like Bangko Sentral, Anti-Money Laundering Council, etc., etc. Importante yung reconciliation reports na yan. Now, if that reconciliation record is wrong, tulad na nangyari sa BDO in the past, BPI, etc., ang nangyayari, nag-iiba-iba yung figures. Nag-iiba-iba rin yung transactions na lumalabas. So, according to GCash, this actually only affected siguro ito yung ito yung dito nahihirapan din si GCash mag-communicate. Dapat mag-communicate din sila. According to the report to us, yung reconciliation records na to, naapektuhan lang yung send to many. Yung angpaw. Ako nga, di ko alam na may send to many pala ang GCash eh. Yung send to many is, pwede ako magpadala limbawa ng pamasko sa lahat ng inaanak ko kung 10 sila. Sabay-sabay, pare-pareho ng amount. Kaya kung papansinin nyo raw, yung transactions, pare-pareho yung nawala. In the case of Pokwang, mapapansin nyo, 2,000 each. 2,000, different numbers.
Pero siya talaga yon. Meaning,
Hindi.
is it Pokwang the sent? So the reconciliation issue is that
Nagkamali
it's
ng
someone
reporting.
else
Yeah.
that sent money but ang nalagay
Yes.
na reflect is that it was Pokwang.
Yes.
So, doon sa GCash niya nabawas.
Correct. So at ang maganda sa reconciliation error, if we believe GCash, no, ang maganda doon is makikita mo agad yung error. Kasi alam mo yung previous state, alam mo rin yung nangyari. So with a quick turnaround, which they said they did in 24 hours, with a quick turnaround, mababalik mo yung pera. Kasi alam mo kung ano yung report na mali. Ang gagawin mo lang dyan, kukunin mo yung last day report, titingnan mo yung maling report today. At saka ano dapat yung report. And then swap mo lang sila. Nangyari yan, I think nagkaroon pa ng hearing sa BPI when it happened several years back. It should be a very simple case of getting the correct report. So, if it is a reconciliation error, no money was lost.
But
It
in
appeared
the
lost.
meantime, for people, they really have lost it because at the time,
You
like
don't have
let's
access,
take
yeah.
Pokong as an example, or even Ross, hindi nila magamit yung pera at that moment. So
Correct.
they did lose it because what if they have to pay for something big on one day na hindi nila ma-access yung account nila? Or if it's kailangan nila magbayad and mangungutang pala sa iba, they tend to lose money because meron silang babayaran na interest para lang mangutang, right?
Correct. Yun nga, ang
So,
problema
may
natin.
liability ba dyan? Can they ask for some compensation?
Tama ka dyan, lalo na kapag ginagamit mo sa negosyo. Tapos hindi makapag-transact ng pera, may nagalit pa. No? So, I think there is. Actually, BSP is now, the regulator, BSP is now collating all reports and they are encouraging people to report to consumer at bsp.gov.ph. You can also CC us at info@dict.gov.ph kasi meron kaming consumer complaint center din. But for the case of Ross and Angge, we'll personally call them. So you're right. I think there could be a liability, or at least if it could not be a personal liability because that would require that these people filing their own cases. But it could be a liability where the regulator can impose fines for them
On the e-wallet,
on the
like
e-wallet
GCash.
operator on their failure to follow certain regulations.
And Yusek Ian, money deposited in banks are insured by the Philippine Deposit Insurance Corporation.
Precisely.
Do you think that the money in e-wallets should also be insured? But before you answer that question, we'll have to take a short break. At the forefront, we'll be right back. Welcome back at the forefront. Yusek Ian, currently, money deposited in banks are insured by the Philippine Deposit Insurance Corporation. Given the risks with e-wallets, do you think that money in e-wallets should also be insured?
Well, number one, I think it should be discussed. I think that's a serious discussion we need to have. No, the main difference between a bank and an e-wallet is that in the e-wallet, it's a lot faster transaction. Yung sa banks kasi, although some banks are now transforming into e-wallets, dito kasi in the case of GCash and Paymaya, it's so easy to transfer them. And so computing an average daily balance, for most people, is gonna be very low. But I think it should be discussed kasi GCash also offers certain services, like salaries. There are now some companies who are giving out their salaries through GCash, and GCash also has a card, na Visa card, which can be used as a debit card to their GCash. If that is the case, then I think the value-added service of GCash is now transforming more like a bank value-added service.
Would you know if e-wallets like GCash, Paymaya also use the money that's deposited, well, not really deposited, but like that's in their custody for other financial uses? So basically, diba, for banks, our deposits are a form of a loan to the banks. That's why they
Correct,
pay us interest. But
Pay
for
and demand is
GCash,
correct.
if you put it in your e-wallet, it doesn't earn any interest.
That's
But
correct.
are they able to use our money for something else? And is there a risk that they might go bankrupt?
So usually the platform, so iba si GCash. GCash kasi operates like a bank. But there's some form of e-wallets. Let's go to another e-wallet. Let's say Grab. Si Grab kasi, and Lazada has an e-wallet, by the way, or Shopee, if you're selling there. You also have an e-wallet there. Usually they have a bank where they put the money on. And that bank is the one that, it is the one that uses that money. The GCash platform also has a bank behind it. So usually, in a strict sense, the e-wallet operator does not. But behind it, there's a bank that also does all these automated transactions. And therefore, tama ka. So, in this form, nagcha-charge ang isang e-wallet ng convenience fee, pero nag-earn din siya dun sa average daily balance interest, whatever it is that is being maintained by the bank. For some people, they would say, wala naman yan, kasi almost zero naman yung mga 25 pesos, 20 pesos, bukas 2,000, pero mauubos din naman. So for most people, they don't realize that kasi parang maliit lang naman yung transactions. But there are some people, like I mentioned, who receive their salary and therefore they keep their money there. So if the answer to your question is, it's not easy to answer your question, but the answer to your question is the e-wallet platform does not. But behind it is usually a bank.
So maybe this is something for regulators to consider.
To
maybe have a form of insurance.
Kasi sa Shopee kasi, just to give you an example, people also complained about sellers having their e-wallets being frozen because of purported or reported violation of Shopee regulations, especially yung mga voucher system na yan. Ang tawag nila voucher abuse. Pero, pansinin niyo kapag yung e-wallet na yun na freeze, hindi pa siya jurisdiction ni BSP. Jurisdiction pa siya ni DTI. Kasi transactional pa lang yun. Pero kung yung bangko sa likod, yung nag-freeze ng account, BSP na yung papasok.
Do you think, Yusek Ian, there should be some type of streamlining all of these agencies? Because just listening to Angge earlier, imagine nagtitinda lang siya sa sari-sari store. And yet, nung nagko-complain siya, pinagpapasapasahan siya ng GCash, Lazada, and then dadalhin pa sa Cybercrime Division, which I suppose would be with the NBI.
That's correct.
So it's confusing for consumers. You don't know who to call. And then, as you said, pagka naman yung mga online selling platforms where you also can keep money like Lazada, Shopee, meron ding DTI, pero pagka involved na ang banks, then you can go to the BSP. Is there an effort to streamline, or if they go to DICT, to your CCI, meron ng CCI ngayon, no? Would that be more effective?
So,
Baka pwedeng magkaroon ng one-stop shop na lang.
Yes. So we have that effort. We have an attached agency called Cybercrime Investigation Coordinating Center under USEC Alex Ramos. Kasi kami sa DICT, ang concern talaga namin yung national cybersecurity. Ang concern ko, kaya ko ito inimbestigahan kasi baka maulit ito sa iba. If this is an attack, we should inform other institutions so they can defend against this type of attack. But if it is a personal concern where you want your money returned, not necessarily an attack, but it could be an attack on yourself. Na-fish ka, di ba? So, nag-click ka. Then, the Cybercrime Coordinating Center coordinates all this. And they have a single number, 1326.
1326. So
They
for
have a single
people
number.
na may issue on potentially phishing, meaning
Yes.
na
Scams.
scam
Frauds,
sila,
yeah.
1326 is a
1326.
number they can call.
Yung sa amin kasi, we investigate to check the collective, mas malaki yung sa amin. Just to check the national security component to here, yung cybersecurity component.
So the 1326 goes to what agency?
CICC, and under din ng DICT.
But this is what you said.
Cybercrime Investigation Coordinating Center. Yeah.
And Yusek Ian, out of curiosity, GCash said that the issue affecting their users right now, yung mga victims are only few. Is that accurate? Because we heard a number like 1,000 that were affected.
Yesterday, we didn't give a number. They said they'll report back to us today. I'm not sure if kasi sabay yung investigation namin with BSP. Yesterday, I understand that BSP is also in GCash premises. So, wala pa silang binibigay na number even to us, even to the other regulator, which is BSP. But as soon as we have that information. Kahapon, sabi na in the hundreds. Could be 900, could be 999. So the things that we're still waiting for GCash, exact report on the number of affected, the technical reports, because we want to be convinced that this is not an attack, some of the technical artifacts like logs, and of course we want to talk to their technical people. Sabi naman nila they'll provide more information today.
And you mentioned phishing earlier. I read one of the reports that supposedly GCash said that if it's an issue of the reconciliation process, they will refund the money. But if the issue is phishing, like you said, phishing is related to scams, right?
That's correct, yes.
It doesn't sound like they'll refund that money. Is that fair to GCash users? Kasi
Now-
as far as you're concerned, parang you're just keeping your money there and you're relying on the provider to keep your money safe. So pagka nagkaroon ng scam na as far as you're concerned, wala ka namang ginawa, then kanino ka pupunta?
Phishing is a international concern. In fact, in the ASEAN Regional Forum, where the 10 member countries of ASEAN talks to all our global partners like US, Russia, China, etc., one of the first approved workshops is how do we take down cyber scam hubs in ASEAN. And they've already identified certain countries, wala naman ang Pilipinas, but certain countries like Laos, Cambodia, and Myanmar to be ASEAN cybercrime hubs. And so, ang number one form nga ng fraud is phishing. Unfortunately, I think globally, the practice is for financial institutions not to refund if it was proven that the scam was through phishing. Same as in the past yung budol-budol. Actually, phishing is the same as budol-budol in the 90s. Nag-iba lang. Naging text-based. Dati tawag eh. And in the 80s, if you remember, Atty. I'm not sure if you're alive then.
Yes,
in the
I
80s. Pero yung kakatok, magbebenta ng Tupperware, encyclopedia, or vacuum cleaner. And then, ang ending, mas malaki pa yung nakuha niyang pera or nadaya ka or something of that sort. So this modus operandi is very old. No? Nagbago lang yung technology delivery. And it had been the practice since then na hindi talaga binabalik yung pera. And that's where deposit insurance, your earlier question, came in. If there was fraud, or usually yung deposit insurance hindi mo rin maasahan.
Yeah, I think it covers instances of a bank run or
Yeah.
if the bank goes bankrupt. So,
Yes.
very limited
Very
instances.
limited. So kahit yung deposit insurance, hindi niya kinukuha yung fraud.
So, Yusek Ian, for those listening to us, is it still safe for people to rely on e-wallets? And what are your tips for people to secure their e-wallets?
So I was really itching that you asked that question. Yes, it is still safe to do online transactions. And that's why we're here. That's why we're investigating. Just to differentiate the DICT from BSP. The DICT is investigating this because we wanted to check if there was a conscious attack on the financial systems. Okay, so, and right now we don't see any. It seems that this case is very isolated to GCash. And GCash already mentioned it's an internal system, that they returned the money already within 24 hours. That was yesterday or early Monday. So, if that was the case, then, and until now, there is no reason to believe that it is unsafe for us to use e-wallets. And I know that it's very sensitive for GCash kasi napakalaki ng GCash. But we use a lot of e-wallets. If you use Grab, you have an e-wallet in Grab. Some banks also have their e-wallets. There is PayMaya, of course, etc., etc. There's, like I said, Shopee, Lazada, e-wallets, etc. And so all of this, Lalamove e-wallets. No? So there are these types of e-wallets that we all use and it's part of our daily lives. Di lang natin napapansin. Tips. Alam ko nandyan si Jocel mamaya. No? So, ang tip ko, napakasimple lang and I always want to keep it free. Number one, may bagong modus operandi po ngayon. This is not related to GCash, but GCash is again being targeted. May bagong modus operandi ngayon na pag tinignan nyo yung cellphone ninyo, lalabas yung text, BDO, BPI, or GCash, or whatever. No? Akala mo ngayon, totoo yung text. Kasi talagang ang nakasulat, hindi number. Nakasulat GCash. Tapos sabihin niya, nawalan ka ng pera, i-click mo ito. Or there seems to be a suspicious transaction. Siyempre, mag-i-English sila para magmukhang professional, right? There seems to be a suspicious transaction and please click on this link. Pero mapapansin mo yung link, walang globe doon, iba ang itsura. Basta't ganito, all financial institutions had been advised. including all government instrumentalities like GSIS, LSS, etc., have been advised that we will never, ever, tinuldukan ko na, send you a text that has a link. We will not. So pag may nagpadala sa yung link, kahit ang pangalan pa, kasi bagong modus operandi yun eh. Nahihirapan din kaming ulihin, it's very technical, it's a IMSI catcher or a fake, hindi siya SIM card na ginagamit. It's a fake base station. So, pag nakita nyo yun, kahit GCash ang nakasulat, kahit bangko mo nakasulat, don't click.
Never click.
Never. That's the first. Second, may mga numero po na kahit asama mo, huwag mong ibigay. Ano yun? Iyon ay yung OTP at yung 3-digit code sa likod ng iyong
Credit
ATM
card.
at credit card.
Yes, oo.
You never give it away to anyone. Pag nagpa-photocopy ang isang insurance company, patingin nga ng credit card mo, pa-photocopy. You only photocopy the front. If they say, we'll photocopy the back, why? No. No. And if they do that, mag-report kayo sa amin, mag-report kayo sa National Privacy Commission, sa BSP, sama nyo na kami lahat sa isang email kasi hindi po pwede yun. And I saw, there was even one legitimate insurance company, hindi ko nabanggitin, who I am a member of. Hinihingi yung back ng credit card ko. Buti na lang siyempre alam ko. Sabi ko, no, of course not. Yun yung second. Don't give that out. And third, when somebody calls you and you don't know, don't give out your private information. Every time somebody calls me, they tell me, we want to verify your account. Can we know is your phone number this? Of course. Nakatawag ka nga so you know. Can we have your address? Why? Ikaw tumawag, di naman ako. Why do you need to verify me? You're the one who called me. I was not asking for this.
Okay.
Right? So don't. Tatlo lang. So don't click a link in your text. Don't give out your OTPs and your 3-digit back of ATM card numbers. And don't entertain calls, unknown callers, and give out your private
information. Thank you so much, Yusek Ian. Sayang kulang na tayo sa time, but aasahan po namin that you'll help Angge and Ross.
We will.
Thank you
we'll
so
get the number from your staff.
Yes, thank you so much. And up next, we have Scam Watch, the netizens' online platform for online issues when at the forefront returns. Welcome back at the forefront. And joining us this morning is the co-founder of Scam Watch Philippines, Jocel de Guzman. Good morning, Jocel.
Good morning, Attorney. Salamat po sa pag-imbita. Thank you for inviting us. Hopefully, we can contribute something to the discussion.
Yes, of course. And please tell us about Scam Watch Pilipinas.
Well, Scam Watch Pilipinas was founded last year by me and Art Samaniego. And eventually, it became the volunteer citizen arm of the Cybercrime Investigation and Coordinating Center and DICT, and we have evolved into helping other agencies as well when it comes to educating online scam. We have actually a framework and a vision kasi during that time, the existing anti-scam education of a lot of companies, a lot of brands, and a lot of advocacy, they're just getting it, what is phishing, don't share your OTP. Our approach is totally different. It's basically targeting the behavior. Because what you need to understand, during the pandemic, the digitalization of the Filipinos have been accelerated. Before, social media and internet was just entertainment, for fun, and then suddenly it became your life. You have a digital life. No one prepared the 84 million Filipinos with internet, how to live, how to navigate social media, how to do these things. So we don't have ethics. That's why yung mga precaution in the real world, basic example, don't talk to strangers. We always tell our kids that. Here, we always talk to strangers. And that's the problem. We don't have the right mindset. That's why we're pushing for the attitude change. We have 4 attitudes. Hopefully later on I can share. But other than that, the vision of Scam Watch Pilipinas is to have one volunteer watcher in every household. Siya yung magtuturo sa nanay mo, sa tatay mo, sa lola mo, para hindi ma-scam.
Are you all over the Philippines? Because
Right
today we
now-
had people reporting from Nueva
Yeah.
Ecija, Cebu.
We're just starting. We started the media campaign and we just launched the volunteer watcher program this year kasi wala naman po kaming budget pa. So hopefully after the election, we're going to schools and then we're getting volunteers. We're also going to companies and creating that volunteer kasi parang paid forward type. And also, we're also trying to create campaigns. We did the 12 scams of Christmas last year. We're going to do it again, but this time it's different. We did the lab scam last year, this year as well, and the travel scam with the OTR.
And can consumers report to you, yung mga victims ng scam?
Well, yeah.
Natutulungan niyo po ba sila?
Yung ginagawa po namin, since we cannot, ang ginagawa, aggregator po kami ng Cybercrime Investigation and Coordinating Center. We've been promoting the 1326. Yung 1326 pong yan, it's not just a call center. Ang mga tumatao po dyan are cyber forensic. So they can basically help you. At hindi po siya AI. The problem kasi right now with a lot of people is that pag na-scam sila, tatawag sila dun sa company, AI-based kasi maraming customers. Here, you have 24/7 CICC invested, the ICT invested, cyber forensic agents, which can actually help you. So lalong-lalo na yung pinaka-basic po rito, yung tinatawag na Facebook hijacking. So kapag na-hack yung Facebook mo, nati-take over na yan, so tawag po kayo sa 1326 within 24 hours. It's also the same, like what happened to GCash, they also need to call 1326 kasi kapag nawalan ka ng pera, it's not just a glitch. Ang iisipin mo, scam yan. They have to complain with the provider GCash, but at the same time, they need to call 1326. Ang objective po ng 1326, simply because we are now in the digital, yung pagnanakaw, it's digital, our government needs all this data. So dahil pag marami kang data, nakukuha yung mga number na yan, nakikita nila how to pinpoint the scammers. And based from last year, we found out na yung mga scammers mo, they're not individual targeting you. They're basically organized crime. Kaya yung mga
So
pogos,
baka related
scam hub.
sa pogos.
Yes. So it's also the same. So kung let's say, yung sa GCash issue, they have to call 1326 because the government needs data. So kahit na nag-issue na ng statement si GCash and the ICT is also investigating this from the holistic point of view, you have to remember that this victim also shared some numbers. And I was talking to Yusek Ramos of CICC yesterday, and they informed me na, okay, we need to check, so you need to help us. That's why we propagate yung mga statements nila yesterday.
Thank you so much, Jocel. Sayang we're out of time,
Yeah.
but that's really something valuable I learned today, and I hope that everyone picked up. Please call 1326 even if your Facebook is hacked or pag nawalan kayo ng pera sa GCash or any other concerns.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
GCash may have assured its users that those who lost money will be immediately refunded. But the users' trust and confidence have already been affected. So even if the government institutes measures to improve cybersecurity of e-wallet providers, security should be the provider's utmost priority, being the core of their business. Be timely informed, be insightful of the news. Always stay at the forefront. Join us again tomorrow for meaningful conversations that would help you form an objective personal opinion. This is Attorney Karen Jimeno. Thank you for spending your hour with us.